guys, so today I wanted to do a book haul for you. If you're wondering, yes, I've just filmed some other videos, so hence why I look the same, but I want to try and pre-record these videos before we go away. One of these videos will be an update video, so make sure you stay tuned for that because there'll be some information about posting and stuff like that whilst I'm away. But I wanted to do a haul video of books today because obviously I've bought quite a few books. Didn't realise actually how many books I've bought to take on holiday with me. I might have to read, try and read one or two of these before we go. But yeah, there's quite a few, so let's get started. So the first book I got is The Shop on Blossom Street by Debbie Mackimer. If you saw my last currents favourite, I think it was, I spoke about, let me grab it, this book which my boss actually gave to me called A Good Yarn by Debbie Mackimer, and I love the cover of this rather than the actual ones I've got now. And this is the second book in the series. It's like the Blossom Street series or something, and it centres around a knitting shop. So I wanted to get some other books in this series, so I did get the first one, which is The Shop on Blossom Street. And basically, well, I know it's similar premise as the second one in the sense it follows about 3 people that are all connected by this knitting shop. They all got their own different backstories and things that are troubling them in their personal life, and they sort of all come together to this knitting shop. So that is that one. And then I also got Susanna's Garden, which I believe is the third book. This is actually an American copy. I think both of these might be American copies actually, and my one's the British one, so I think that's why. But I did pick these up on Amazon. Must have been Amazon, yeah. So I got those. So if you saw a while ago, I reviewed the book Frozen Charlotte from this series. It's not sort of a series as in they're all linked to each other. It's like different authors write these sort of horror mystery books. So this one's called Sleepless by Lou Morgan. On the front it says the nightmare begins when you're awake. On the back it says not for young readers because it is in the teen fiction. It says take 1 pill every 4 hours of study up to 4 times a day. Side effects may vary. Young, rich and good looking, Izzy and her friends lead seemingly perfect lives, but exams are looming and at school like Clerkenwell, failure is not an option. Luckily, Tiggs has a solution, a small pill that will make a revision a breeze and help them get the results they need. Desperate to succeed, the friends begin taking the study drug. As the side effects take hold, they realise there are far worse things than failing a few exams. So, on the surface, this sounds like a pretty teenage classic book, but I know from reading the other one that these can turn really dark, and that's what I like about them. So, excited to read that. And then I got 2 from Tesco's. These are in the 2 for £7. First one I got is called The Honeymoon by Tina Seskis. And actually when I went to Waterstones, which is when I got these other books, I was picking up a load of after wedding or pre-wedding or relationship failures, and I was picking up all these books and that's what they were all to do with. I was like, yeah, not the type of book to read on my honeymoon. For as long as she can remember, Gemma has been planning the perfect honeymoon. A fortnight's retreat to a 5-star resort in the Maldives, complete with luxury villas, personal butlers and absolute privacy. That does sound amazing. It should be paradise, but it's turned into a nightmare, because the man Gemma married a week ago has just disappeared from the island without a trace, and now her perfect new life is vanishing just as quickly before her eyes. After everything they've been through together, how can this be happening? Is there anyone on the island who Gemma can trust? And above all, where has her husband gone? Dun dun dun! So I thought that was a really cool one, and I'll be reading it on our honeymoon. Hopefully the same thing doesn't happen to me and Darren goes missing, but I thought it was just an interesting mystery to read. And then the other one is Truly Madly Guilty by Liane Moriarty. She wrote the Big Little Lies book that came into the TV series. I really liked her book, so I thought I'd give this one a go. It says, this is a story which begins with a barbecue. By the end of it, a lifelong friendship will be in tatters, a marriage on the rocks and an innocent bystander dead. In just one evening, 6 lives will change forever. And that's all it says. But if you know Liane Moriarty's book, especially if you've read Big Little Lies. She's really, really good at the mystery element. Oh. And then these are the 2 books I got from Waterstones. I had a book voucher actually from my mum for my birthday. So when we went shopping, I picked these up. This first one is called The Lost Art of Letter Writing, and I thought it was really interesting. From what I can gather, it's about a little letter writing shop. I'll read you the back of it. In a forgotten nook of Cambridge stands a little shop. Thousands of sheets of beautiful paper and hundreds of exquisite pens wait for the next person, who, with Clara Cohen's help, will express the love, despair and desire they feel to correspondents alive, estranged or deceased. Clara knows better than most of the power a letter can have to turn a person's life around, so when she discovers a cachet of her great-grandmother's wartime love letters, she follows the faint trail of a life once lived and starts on a profound journey of her own. So I feel like this is a book, if you like books that are set in bookshops, this is like something that's going to intrigue you. I love the idea of like this little letter writing independent shop tucked away in like the centre of London. I know this is Cambridge, but you know what I mean. And like just the real quaintness of it, and going back to like the old like letter writing and like actually holding physical paper and books. And me and Darren actually used to write letters to each other. When we were long distance, we would like either leave letters for each other to read once we've gone, or we would send letters. Obviously we don't do it now because we live together, but we still like to write each other little notes and things like that. And I'm big on still like writing out cards, and like we've written each other cards out for the wedding and that sort of thing. So excited to read that. And then the last one, which is probably one of my favourites and most excited I am to read for. My mum actually, when I showed her this, she was like, can I read that after you? And it's very rarely that my mum wants to read a book. The only books I know she's read are the 50 Shades books and the Shopaholic series. Like those are the only ones that I've physically seen her read. So it's very rare that she'll like a book's prospects enough to want to pick up and read it. So this, obviously you'll tell straight away why it caught my attention. It's a knitting book. It says Casting Off, a hilarious poignant story of knitting, friendship, sacrifice and saucy chat lines. So yeah, it's not specifically about knitting, I'll say that right now, but I'll read you the back of it because it's pretty funny. When the residents of a Highland care home discover that the new owners are about to substantially put up the fees, they know that dramatic action is called for. But what can a group of senior citizens possibly do against a big organisation? For Dorothy, the situation is serious. If she can't raise money, she'll have to leave all her friends like dear Miss Ross. In protest, the residents barricade themselves into the lounge. However, their rebellion fails, so Wordly Wise Jones suggests a most unusual way to cover the rise. A very naughty chat line for men who want to talk to the older woman in a particular way. As their lives take a series of unexpected turns, things get increasingly out of control. So it just sounds really funny. Apparently it's based on the Sellout play, which I've never actually heard of before. But yeah, so it's basically about a group of elderly people who know that their prices of their care home are going up and that they want to put a stop to it. So they obviously try and make a protest and then try and set up a chat line to try and raise money. And so I just think that's a really funny, like I can see it being a really funny, like easy book to read. And yeah, definitely think this is a funny one, and I love the artwork on the front. I think that's so cool. So yeah, so that's 7 books that I've got to take on holiday with me. I might try and read one before we go because I don't really want to lug 7 books with me and then probably lug 7 books back, because you know what I like to keep them all and share them with you. But yeah, so that's my little book haul. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know if you've read any of these books. I know they're all sort of quite obscure books. They're not mainstream, but they're not sort of the current popular ones at the moment, so just something different for you. So yeah, I hope you like this video. Stay tuned because obviously I'm going to review probably these books at some point whilst I'm away on holiday, so I'll be doing a lot of reading. So yes, stay tuned for that and I'll see you soon. Bye guys.